I would go back and say, actually, the phase that we got married in, I wasn't probably mature enough to get married in the first place. Um, Started to have a family like a lot of people, sort of early
Mm.
30s. I found myself living in Surrey for some strange reason, and then commuting into London. Like a lot of people, you've got somebody at home with a young child and another young child
Mm.
shortly after, and it really did sort of get worse, I think, as the years went by, and then it was split up by weekends, sort of consuming alcohol with other married friends with young children. And I
Mm.
felt I was just sort of getting on the train on a Monday morning, not finding time to catch my breath. A lot of alcohol in town, a lot of not trying to get home when I should have been, poor personal
Mm.
well-being. Um, and that really was the sort of start of the problems, I guess. Everyone has challenges in life with commuting and working and staying at home,
Mm.
so it's the same for everybody. And there's a lot of guys and girls that I know that commute into London and drive around the M25. It's more of then you get into habits of then waiting for the weekend and getting through it by self sabotage. Basically,
Mm.
I think it boils down to effective communication, and whether you're in a good relationship. If we don't want to get
Mm.
divorced, if that's the aim, then a good
Mm.
relationship has to be based upon skills that I just didn't have. And I didn't have them because I was
Mm.
never taught them. I didn't have them because I never learnt them. I didn't have the self-awareness to realize that I could communicate differently. I could express that I
Mm.
was hurt without being angry. It didn't always have to end up in
Right.
a
Mm.
row, and it didn't have to
Mm.
end up in disruptive emotions. So what I've learnt now to what I didn't know when I was 35, let's say, is if you are
Mm.
suffering and you're not happy with something, then clearly there's a much better way to articulate that with somebody that you're supposed to be having a good relationship with, or indeed are in love with, if that's a thing. So
Mm.
um, does not mean a lot of it was a fear of abandonment. And again, I did a lot of work on
Mm.
the inner child, I believe they call it. I had therapy and counseling for many years after my separation, and a lot of it was feelings towards and I love my mother to death. Don't get me wrong. We've had these conversations, but a lot of it was triggering from my mother's and my relationship, and she had a quite emotional character when I was quite young, and there was a lot of explosive emotion, and I was
Mm.
constantly moving from total love, and I've had this discussion with your mum, so you know this. Total love
Yeah, just in
to
case she's listening. Yeah.
to frustration.